So how does one develop that ability or that awareness that I am progressing? So maybe if I'm starting with, say, pranayama, or I'm starting with the asanas, this is now the mind taking over, or this is a time that I can just let go of this, and now this is required. So though we have that urge to progress, but we often find ourselves being attached to just one practice. So how does that one maintain that balance and express that progress in whatever path they're choosing? So if you can speak a little on that.
Well, if I've understood the question correctly, uh, yoga is certainly about progress and for which the person has an aspiration. The person makes a beginning with what is basic and also with what is most in keeping with the person's temperament and circumstances. That is where one begins. But then as one goes beyond that, one may find oneself uh, getting involved also in those aspects of yoga, those practices of yoga, which the person initially felt that these are things which I'm not interested in. So the person may get more and more involved in those. And at the same time, it could also happen that beyond a certain stage, then the person is using those things uh, in everyday life and does not feel the necessity to further uh, strengthen those abilities through properly designed practices. So all these things can be a part of that progress and evolution. And that is why in integral yoga, I mean, there's no rigid path. There are which has to be followed, and the person can keep changing as time goes, because that in fact is in a way to sort of describe progress. So long as the person feels that I'm going forwards and not backwards, the person is on the path of yoga. And to go beyond where one is, certainly a change is necessary, and that change may involve also in change in the type of techniques and processes that the person is using. In fact, even when it comes to just the physical practices of yoga, like asanas and pranayamas, one finds that initially very enthusiastic people may start with 1.5 to 2 hours of these practices in a day. Say, keep one session of 1 hour for asanas and another for half of an hour for pranayamas, another half an hour for meditation. So they may be spending quite regularly 2 hours a day on these practices. But then they find that gradually all that is not very necessary, and they are able to achieve the same degree of physical and mental immobility uh, using much less time. And also, they find that quite a bit of it starts spilling over into their everyday life, which means that not just the asanas, but all their movements in everyday life start becoming more conscious. And not only during meditation, but even otherwise, they have less of that mental noise going on. Not only during meditation, even otherwise, when they are doing any study, they are able to concentrate better. It's not only during meditation, but even otherwise, when they are doing a mental job, they find that their efficiency goes up. They get the best of ideas, as if from some higher force to which the barrier has been weakened. All the thoughts and ideas and the best of whatever they can do mentally is flowing in. When they fall ill, they find that it comes very easily to them to turn to the uh, that higher force to work through their mind eventually on the body and direct the life force there, so that that part starts healing. So they start actually doing all this without necessarily spending that much time on practices as a regular routine.